So I already have the power steering pump installed. I also got the power steering pump belt installed. And all this I got from the junkyard. Luckily, I was able to find an Acura Integra at the I-Pull U-Pull here in Stockton. And I got all the brackets needed. It's usually this top one and this bottom one. So B18Cs have these at a staggered. I think this one's lower and this one's higher, so I couldn't use that bracket. And there's like a bunch of them on eBay, so if you see those on eBay, you cannot use them on regular non-VTEC heads, I guess. But power steering pump is installed. We already got those tightened down, and then we're gonna go ahead and install these adapters. I believe this is the one that goes up here, and then this one goes right here. I was checking their video and it shows that they were using an Allen head for this one because I think this adapter is too big. I'm gonna double check that. If it is too big, then I'm gonna go to Ace Hardware and get the Allen head for it. So lucky me, I had a bolt that was able to fit between the neck and the, I guess the body of it and the bolt, and I was able to tighten it with an open end wrench. And so it's on there, and you're able to move this left and right to kind of guide it, which is pretty cool. The only one I kind of had a little trouble with was this one right here, because I don't know, the O-ring kind of seemed maybe a little bit too big. I don't know, but in their install video, you can see the guy who's installing it going from one to the other, slowly making this go down. And I did the same method and I was able to install it, but usually when you install these type of fittings, they usually just, you know, plop right in without like kind of forcing it in. And I kind of felt like I forced it in, but I guess we're gonna know afterwards if it leaks or not. But hopefully it doesn't leak. I was able to find, again, bolts for it, but not the prettiest, but at least I know what type of bolts I'm gonna need. So I'm gonna go online and buy some better looking ones. But yeah, there it is, Chase Base, and there you go. So let's go ahead and install our lines. So I had to remove the headlight because I was just struggling to get this hose installed correctly, but I think I got it. So what I ended up doing was, this was not clocked on the correct way. I think it was angled towards that way. And so I'm over here trying to install the pump or the reservoir some sort of way, and I couldn't figure it out. So I didn't realize I had to loosen this top screw right here. And then once I loosen this, you can see it's turning freely. So once I loosen this, I'm able to move this bottom port. I'm able to move it either direction. So this right here, I'm able to move it whichever direction I need to accommodate my chassis, I guess. And so I think I got the perfect curve right here, but I don't know if it's going to clear the headlight. Hopefully it does, because I do have aftermarket headlights, the glass ones. I don't know if they're going to clear. Hopefully they do. But again, it's another thing I'm worried about is vibration, and is that going to be rubbing on the headlight and eventually rip open? I'm not sure. So it's something I'm gonna have to monitor real closely, or if not, then I'm probably gonna have to like wrap this with like some rubber insulation so that it takes a lot longer to rub off, you know, kind of, I don't know how to say it, like it will be longer for it to eventually rip through the hose. But we need to look at this more closely. But I think I got the perfect setup right here. So I got the bracket installed right there with some dress up bolts, And I don't have everything tightened down. I'm kind of guiding it right now, but because that was the only one I needed to clock, the other port kind of just comes down. You can see like that. So we got both of these tight, the smaller hoses, and I got this one running up right up above the motor mount on the side of the strut tower. Same with this top one going towards the back. And we're gonna go ahead and maybe get these strapped down. Probably gonna put a strap right here, and I believe there's another thread right here where I could strap this down as well, so kind of keep it away from anything vibration and eventually rip. Gotta secure that, so let's go ahead and do that. So I already installed both of the lines. The bottom one is the high pressure one, the top one is the return, and I got those angled behind the bracket right here, and they're not touching anything. We're gonna go ahead and wrap the hoses most likely with some rubber. We're gonna cut like a hose in half or slice it across and just wrap it around there so it doesn't rub that much on the hoses or on the metal lines. And then I got them routed over here. I'm probably gonna go ahead and zip tie this hose to this one up here so that it kind of sits. It's not hitting the alternator right now, even though it kind of does look like it, but I'm gonna zip tie it up here to this one so that it could kind of stay in place and away from the alternator. And then we got like a bracket right here, the Harbor Freight ones, which is these right here, and so it's not touching right here. Then we got this tight already, so pretty much everything's installed. I just have to go to the hardware store and figure this plug out. So I don't know what that is for. If anyone in the comment section can tell me what does that go to, let me know. But from what I'm seeing online, everyone just plugs that one up. So now the test is to see if the headlight fits. Hopefully it does, because kinda SOL if it doesn't. But I already got everything tightened up. We're gonna go ahead and throw on the headlights, see what happens. So I have the headlight mounted. It's kind of mounted on there loosely. You can kind of see this one's not tight, and these I kind of just have eyeballed, but obviously you want to adjust those to when you drop the hood. But you can kind of see it is kind of rubbing. So I'm not sure how to fix that. I'm gonna try and play with it some more, but we'll see what happens. For right now, I have this bolt. I have this bolt right here with some Teflon tape. I don't know exactly where it went to on the EG, but basically that needs to be blocked off. If that ends up working as it is, I'm probably just gonna get my angle grinder and just cut it there, because it doesn't seem like it's leaking where it is right now. But I'm gonna go ahead and double check before I actually do cut it off. But I already got the high pressure side and the low side of the power steering on the power steering rack lines installed. I also went ahead and ordered different hardware bolts because I don't have any. I kind of just threw these on just to make sure that it works. And I already went ahead and topped off the fluid. I kind of just threw some generic power steering fluid in here. I'm gonna go ahead and drain it out at work and put some Honda stuff, because the Honda stuff is expensive and I don't want to buy it. So this is what I ended up using, some VG stuff. But other than that, Chase Bay's power steering setup complete. We got that eBay pulley that I showed you guys on the last episode. It also came with the alternator pulley. And then I do have this generic power steering belt. It's just a crappy one off of Rock Auto. I think I paid like $4 to $5 for it. Maybe when I place another order on Rock Auto, I could buy like a Continental belt or a Gates one. Save on shipping so that it could be shipped out from the same location as the stuff I order from Rock Auto. But anyways, other than that, everything is installed. Let me get my thumbnail right here. That's gonna be the thumbnail. Cool. So let's go ahead and bleed the system. Maybe add a zip tie over here so that the, see right now it's kind of on top of the alternator. Maybe get a zip tie like right here on this line so that it kind of stays away from it. But I'm gonna closely monitor this as I drive to see where exactly it's like rubbing or something, and maybe just had like a piece of rubber like this around this so that it doesn't like chew right through it over time. But other than that, power steering was a success. We already went ahead and installed our tie rod ends. I don't like these tie rod ends because they have this right here. The ones I ordered off Rock Auto, they didn't show that in the picture. I let Rock Auto know, like, hey, you guys advertise this as a non-serviceable part, but I got serviceable parts that I do not like. I don't like servicing them. I want non-serviceable ones. So they ended up refunding me my money, which is cool. But yeah, tie rod end installed, both sides. So let me go ahead and finish up. It's a little weird on the idle. I don't see any leaks.